This past summer, a quiet conflict played out on the streets of some of America's biggest cities. The focus: so-called sanctuary cities. The strategy involved one of the larger interior immigration enforcement campaigns in recent history. But what many news reports didn't capture was the full story behind the tactics, the new tools being used, and the real-world results of this crackdown. This is the inside story of the federal government's summer focus on sanctuary cities. At the direction of the White House, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE have intensified their immigration enforcement strategy. The stated goal is to target jurisdictions that limit their cooperation with federal immigration authorities. For years, cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York have operated under sanctuary policies. These policies often limit the role of local police in federal civil immigration enforcement, for example by declining to hold people in jail on behalf of ICE after they would otherwise be released. Federal officials have argued these policies can shield people with criminal records, but multiple studies have found no evidence that sanctuary policies increase crime. In fact, some research suggests they may improve public safety by encouraging immigrant communities to report crimes without fear. In response to these local policies, the administration announced it would use every tool available to enforce federal law. The message was clear: if ICE couldn't rely on cooperation in the jails, they would increase worksite enforcement and at-large arrests in communities. And this summer, they acted on that promise. Few cities felt this shift as intensely as Los Angeles. While states like Texas and Florida have a history of collaborating with ICE, California has often been a symbolic center of resistance. But that didn't stop a surge in enforcement. Between January and June, ICE arrests in the Los Angeles area jumped by 372%. In one 5-day operation, ICE arrested 188 individuals in the greater LA area, with officials stating that nearly 90% had prior criminal convictions for offenses like sex crimes, assault, and drug trafficking. However, data from later in the summer showed a strategic change. By July, only 45% of those detained around Los Angeles had prior criminal convictions, suggesting a much wider net was being cast. This more aggressive phase saw federal agents making arrests at places like bus stops and car washes, which created a climate of fear and uncertainty across the city. These tactics led to a federal court order in July that barred ICE from relying solely on factors like race or language to stop people, which was followed by a significant drop in arrests. This federal strategy is evolving daily, and the debate over sanctuary cities is only getting more intense. To stay informed on what's happening and to get the real story, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens next. So how is ICE ramping up these operations, especially in places that don't cooperate? They're using two key strategies: expanding partnerships and their workforce. First is the massive expansion of the 287G program. This federal law authorizes ICE to deputize state and local law enforcement to perform specific immigration functions. A DHS press release from August 2025 stated that ICE had signed nearly 900 of these agreements across 40 states. This allows federal authorities to work directly with willing county sheriffs and state police, creating a force multiplier for interior enforcement. The second strategy is building a pipeline for new agents. The Department of Defense's Skill Bridge program is now being used to place transitioning military service members into internships with various government agencies. This initiative lets service members in their final 180 days of duty gain direct experience in different fields, including federal law enforcement, while still receiving their military pay. The goal is to help veterans transition into federal employment, strengthening the front lines of government service. This summer marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing conflict between federal immigration authorities and sanctuary cities. Through a surge in street-level arrests, expanded worksite enforcement, and the rapid growth of programs that turn local cops into immigration officers, the federal government has altered the enforcement landscape. Operations in cities like Los Angeles showed a clear strategy to cast a wide net, targeting not just those with criminal convictions but anyone in violation of immigration laws. While this led to a notable increase in arrests, it also sparked fierce legal battles and community backlash. So, what does this all mean for the future of sanctuary cities? Is this the beginning of the end for these policies, or just the start of a much larger, more intense fight over the future of immigration enforcement in America? Let me know what you think in the comments below.